The Legend of Korra video game is the most unexpected thing to come out of the Avatar franchise since Korra herself in the series finale. Social justice warriors take note. In this game, you play as a mentally challenged mulatto transsexual lesbian Eskimo who is a strong independent woman who don't need no man since her life partner Asami has a waterbed and pudgy fingers. This game begins in the middle of the action, leaving the player with many questions, such as, where is Aang? Where are the rest of the polygons? And why is this twat-tickling Eskimo hoe fighting the tentacle monsters instead of having sex with them? After mashing buttons like a retard trying to put on a flannel shirt, the game cuts to the dumbest fictional sport since women's basketball. Pro bending appears a few times throughout the campaign and again as a standalone mode, but is completely mindless. And not mindless fun like fucking a fat bitch in a coma, but more of a chore that takes away from the real draw of this game, the sheer stupidity of the story. After winning the match, Korra sees an old man standing near some guys, who are neither saying or doing anything threatening, as that would have required the creation of costly, non-recyclable animation. Korra, being the unrepentant slut that I am, immediately assumes that something is wrong and offers the guy from Big Trouble in Little China help. He laughs in a way that makes you wonder whether he is evil or just has dementia. Anyways, after sending Korra to Dreamtime with some petrol-tipped darts and squeezing them titties for a minute, the Chi blockers, angry with Korra for breaking into their condo and chewing up all their carpets, have reunited to block Korra's ability to bend anything aside from my penis, in order to revert the story back to where we were at the end of the first season of the TV show, just before Avatar Aang jumped out of Korra's delicious chocolate-glazed donut-looking booty hole and gave her the good touch in the bad place, instantly fixing everything for no good reason. The combat, even when fully unlocked, is pretty basic, with less than a dozen moves available in total, and you'll be left wondering if Korra's not saving her more fancy fist flurries for Asami's open-faced pastrami. At the end of the level, as with most levels, Korra completely negates the entire point of fighting her way through an area by calling her polar bear dog and running away like a little bitch. What follows is your typical iPad auto-runner game that you would usually play while dropping a log, which is fitting since this minigame is a steaming pile of monkey shit. Now, to truly understand the stupidity of this game, you have to witness how Korra gets her bending back. You'd think this would be a good opportunity to grow her as a character, explore her personality flaws, and make Korra confront her weaknesses. Instead, Tenzin's children appears out of nowhere, levitates in the air above your face by projectile queefing, and randomly assigns you tasks like breaking pots and dodging attacks to regain your powers. The 4 flavors of bending you unlock are varied in so much that firebending is good for quickly hitting the enemies that the shake camera is hiding off screen, earthbending is good for one fight against a big scuba suit tank, then nothing else, airbending covers the entire screen with projectiles, turning combat into an absolute joke, and waterbending is worthless horseshit that only a complete fucking idiot would even bother with. Speaking of lacking variations, allow me to show you every enemy in the game in less than 10 seconds. Generally speaking, you fight 3 flavors of cheap blockers that all fight exactly the same, punch a scuba tank mid-level, and end the level by fighting the same 3-element bending triads over and over, occasionally reskinned as bunnies in order to appeal to degenerate furries. The game is fairly brief and won't take you more than 5 hours to beat on normal and another 3 hours for expert mode, but by then you'll be so overpowered that there won't be any real challenge, save for that one level where you die in one hit from the 3 tanks. That level can lick my balls, it can suck my dick, and it can hold me tight in a snuggle. This budget game with no budget culminates in a head-slappingly stupid moment where Korra is taught the meaning of life.
There is no light or dark. To fight another is to fight yourself. Let go.
And to celebrate this universal oneness, this awakening of the shared soul of mankind, you brutally murder everything in sight, then to end the game quicker and save some money, Fu Manchu decides to tell you his incredibly vague motivation and attacks you when he could have just as easily snapped your neck like a twig at the beginning of the game. You'd think there would be some mention of him tricking Korra into reconnecting with her bending in order to bring back the past Avatar spirit she lost contact with at the end of the first season in order to kill the Avatar spirit for good. Instead, he reveals that he has a spastic monkey growing out of his butthole, screams like Lou Ferrigno shooting a load, and dies almost instantly without requiring you to use any of the skills you learned during the game. Overall, this game is okay. There's some nice titties in it, although to be fair, titties on a lesbian is like having nipples on a tomcat. Sure, you can use your superior man strength to hold it down and suck on them, but you'll wind up with your face all scratched up and hair in your teeth.